Action. We just started a video, but we had to do it over because my sister was calling and I needed the answer. Anyway, this is our brand new 12-week-old Corso Puppy. She is beautiful, but she will be, I got her for a personal dog. She will be a training pack dog with my other dogs. She looks like a little lab puppy right now. She's just darling. But anyway, so we want to raise her up well, and so we're gonna make a video series about puppy raising and all the do's and don'ts and all the things on what to start doing when your puppy comes home. Right now I'm gonna kiss to her. Bonnie. Bonnie. There she went. Bonnie. So I've only had her 2 days. We're gonna go find her. Bonnie. Good. Good girl. So I did the same thing, walked in, found her in the room, and kissed to her, and then made her come in, lured her in here with the food. So basically, I've only had her 2 days, and I've been doing all hand feeding, working her for her meals, and then I keep kibble on me during the day if she's in the house during free time or whatever. So then when she's away from me, I can kiss to her, and she's very playful. She just woke up from her nap. So I can kiss to her, call her name or whatever my cue is for coming to get food, and give her food. So we're just getting that repetition of when you hear me say this, whatever it is, kissing noises, her name, getting a little bit excited, she learns that that means, oh, there's food and I'm gonna go get it. So puppies at this age are typically very hungry, and we wanna build that food drive so we have, good. So right there, she was moving away, her butt was turned to me, so I'm gonna kiss, she comes running back, she gets the food. So these are simple little protocols that you'll practice with your puppy, and you say, what do I do about this biting and jumping and nipping and all this stuff? We can correct that, and I can make a video on that, but right now we're gonna be proactive and keep her from doing the things that we want. I can grab her collar to control her a little bit. If she started biting my hand here, we can do a little bit of thumb in the mouth, keep her from doing that, and that's more of corrective stuff. But if I want to lure her with this food, I can start making a game of it. So we turn this into a feeding learning activity. She smells them on the floor. Right there, you keep spilling them. So when I first started this 2 days ago, she was so overexcited about the scent of the kibble, good girl, that she didn't even know how to take it out of my hand. So I've been doing things like throwing kibble on the ground so she learns to use her nose a little bit. I can show her where it is, and once she gets there, she can start, you can't really see her very well, I'll back up a little bit. Good girl. So she doesn't get all of them because we haven't played much of this game. She's gonna get her pig and walk away. So if my puppy's super not interested, what I would do is I'd put them on a leash. So then they can't leave this area. If you've never put a leash on your puppy before, it can be overwhelming for them, and they'll be so distracted by the leash that they won't engage in the training. So if you can, just start this in an enclosed space. Just take them to a room. Good girl, good. That you can control the area a little bit more. Okay. So she's so used to eating out of this hand, I'm gonna start feeding her out of the left as well. Good. So she doesn't get used to one hand or the other. So we're going to be proactive again about what we want her to do. I'm just teaching her to follow a lure and how to take kibble out of my hand. And this is just her daily kibble. This is just her dinner. So if we're using raw or wet food, it can get a little messy, of course. Or what you can do, if you're doing some kibble and some raw and some wet or something, you can take half their meal of the kibble, say you're doing kibble and wet, and do half the meal for working, and then feed them the other half after they're done in their crate. Hey girl, Bonnie, good. So there I was able to pull her off of the toy because she knows that the kissing food means that there's food coming. I was able to lure her a little bit to remind her, hey, remember, that kissing noise means food. So then, once she's interested in this, I can get her to follow me around a little bit. Bonnie, good. Bonnie, good girl, good. So I'm just kissing to her, walking away, and feeding her the food when she gets to me. It creates enthusiasm about following you around. And she wasn't like this when she first came. She didn't know anything. She would kind of run from me when I'd go to grab her or anything like that. So she's been in her crate a lot. Puppies need a lot of downtime. They get overwhelmed just like a baby, and they need a lot of nap time. So don't feel bad for putting your puppy in its crate. Take them out on a schedule so they get a potty routine down. Good girl. Good. We can go back to some luring. We can even start incorporating some sits. She'll do it. Ouch. Her nails are so sharp. So she may be too playful for this right now. Bonnie, good girl. So she got frustrated, so she left. She went towards something that's more accessible. She went to the toy because she's not having to work for that as hard. Good girl, good. So we can just make it easier for her. Reward her more often so she doesn't get bored or distracted. Good girl. Me moving around. Bonnie, good girl, good. So there I distracted her with the scent of the food. Good girl. Or the side of my hand. And she dropped the toy to come get the food. Bonnie, good girl. So because she's so riled up right now, we're gonna just practice Bonnie, Bonnie, good girl. Her coming when called because she wants to move away so much. So those sits, I could either go back to my leash, but if you haven't started your dog on a leash yet, sometimes it's hard. So do what you can do being successful. Good girl. So if I'm successful having her follow me around and practicing mini recalls like this, I'm gonna do that. And then practice my leash walking later. So leash walking stuff is more pressure based. I do use some treats in it, but sometimes it can get a little confusing. And I'd rather just use the leash pressure to communicate with the dog and then do our training sessions for our obedience stuff. Later we'll use treats for Bonnie. She might have to go potty. Good girl, good. Good girl. Bonnie. Focusing on the dog and making a video. Multitasking is difficult sometimes. Good girl, Bonnie. Good girl, good. Good. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. So if you want to decrease the jumping a little bit, you can start shaping her and make sure you're holding the food down at her face level so she's not trying to jump up to get it. So if I hold the food down here, she's less likely to try to jump on me. So that can be the beginning stages of starting to shape some of that stuff of not jumping. Later, if your dog is still jumping and that's not enough and they're just doing it out of excitement, Bonnie, good girl. I think she has to pee. Later we can correct that stuff. And we can even do it for puppies too, but that's not what this video is. She just noticed herself in the video. Bonnie, good girl. So that was a distraction. We were able to call her off of it. Good girl, come on. Bonnie, good. Alrighty, so we're gonna end our session there because she's getting over it and I think she's got a pee, so we're gonna take her out to the bathroom. But remember, keep these sessions short and sweet. Confine them if you're having trouble getting them come to you, and make it super, super easy for them. So if they're having a hard time taking food out of your hand, like make sure you get them versed on that before you start trying to lure them around. Bonnie, good girl, good. All right, you guys, that's working our puppies for our meals. A hungry dog is always an easier to train one that's food motivated. All right, we'll see you soon.